everyone, this is our new cut and craft pizza and box template. You have the box template and then an opening pizza with 8 individual slices which can be used as gift boxes, or you can glue together just to form the pizza. Obviously I've stuck with the pretty traditional pizza box colours, but you can obviously jazz them up as much as you want to. So as is the norm, you start by cutting out 8 of the pizza slice. Straight lines are cut lines and the dashed lines are your score lines. I've used the brown cardstock here, which doesn't have a gloss on it, so be warned, it will soak up your glue. I do tend to use wet glue for all of my projects, but you will need to use plenty of glue if you're using this kind of cardstock. So just going to cut out this one slice to show you how to put it together. What I tend to do is, if you buy the download, is actually to cheat slightly and just print off 8 different pages of the slice so that you don't have to draw around it each time, but obviously that's up to you. It will give you a bit of paper wastage, but it does speed things up quite a lot. And that's what the pizza slice will look like. That's the dotted score lines. When I say scorer, they are general embossing tools. Just try to go for the thinnest one that you have in your kit, just to give you a nice crisp line. When you have on this particular one, there's the little teeth, as I call them, to fold underneath the pizza slice. It's always better to score that first before you cut them out, otherwise you are in danger sometimes of pulling the little teeth segments off. So just go through and score everything before you start. That's what I was talking about there. So before you start going together, just make sure that you fold up all of your score lines, just to make sure that everything's ready. That's the pizza strengthening slice, which you don't have to use, but I put in there because I want the box to be nice and solid. And on the curved portion of the pizza slice, it's only a single card piece, and it just strengthens it really and helps it to keep its shape. As I say, you know, it's optional. I do use wet glue, and you just put a little bit of glue on and pop it on the top of the inner section of the card, as you can see here, and it will just help to keep the curved shape in place. And then it's just a case of constructing your box. There really isn't a right or a wrong way of which bit to glue first. You'll probably find the best way for you. In this one, I'm putting the bottom on the curved piece by gluing the teeth on the underside of the template. You can use a pen, your finger, just squash it down really tightly so that you get a good bond, and then glue it together to form your triangle wedges. As I say, this card is a bit of a nightmare. It does soak up your glue, so make sure you use plenty and glue that together. Do the same for all 8 slices until you end up with your 8 pieces of pizza. If you don't want to have opening boxes to put a gift or a note or something in, and you just actually want to have the actual pizza, you can glue the lid shut. The lid is the piece with the small semicircular sort of half moon on top of it. That's the lid piece. Glue it in place or leave it open depending on what you want to use it for. So that's your box going together, and here you'll see me just gluing that top tab. That really is, again, just another piece to use to give you a good solid shape. It helps to hold in the tabs that have joined the other pieces together and just strengthens the whole box up to give you a nice sturdy shape. And there's your finished pizza slice. And you can have it opening, as I said before, to put a gift in, or just seal it shut if you just want to have the pizza. Here I'm just going to give it a bit of colour to make it look a bit more pizza-like. I'm just using some wax and the pad from a distressing tool. You can use your distressing inks, paints, powders, whatever you have, or just leave it plain brown. Cover it in a different card, paper. It's pretty much up to you. The choice is all yours as to what kind of look you're going for. Just using some brown golds and coppers here to give it that sort of cooked pizza look. So once you're happy with the look, it's just a case of finishing off the other 7 slices just the way you did before, everything exactly the same, and finish them all off so that you've got a nice a pizza to base the rest of your decoration on. So very simply, you just keep going, doing the same with all 8 slices of your pizza. I must admit, as this was coming together, I did start to think that maybe at some point I could also turn this into some kind of cake. But that's a project for another day. It's always very good to try and look at other ways that you can use your templates, because it's always nice to get good value for money. So just keep on going until you've got all pieces together, and then your actual pizza base is completed. So the next part of a template is a little tray that we put in, really just to keep the pizza in place. If you don't want to use it, it's entirely optional. Another way around it is just to glue all of the segments of the pizza together so that it keeps them all in the same place. As I go through these videos, you'll see that I switch between using scissors and a cutting knife. This is just for me because I suffer from carpal tunnel, and it's easier to switch between the two, but you can use a knife or scissors, whichever you're most comfortable with. For this, you just need to cut out the base and the 3 sides. I tend to join the 3 sides together to make one long strip, as it's a lot easier to glue it together when you've got one strip. You will notice, and I can show you in a moment, that at the edge of the small tab there is a dotted line rather than a dashed line, and this is actually a glue line, so it shows you where to glue the 3 strips together so that you have the right lengths to go all around the base. As before, you will see me scoring the line just above the small tabs. This again is just to stop you ripping off any tabs when you're scoring the line. And there you can see the dotted line that I was talking about. That's where you will join up the next part of the side to give you the long strip that you need to go all the way around. So go on and join all of the 3 strips together, gluing them up to the glue line, and then work your way around the base, gluing the tabs underneath the circles, which will give you a much neater finish. I tend to find it's easier to do a little piece at a time rather than trying to go all the way around, and then just literally wind it all the way around the base, pushing down as you go until you've gone all the way around the shape and glued one end of the side to the other, and then that's your tray finished. And there you have your finished tray, and you can just pop your bits inside and you see that it keeps them all nice and neat together. You can see what I mean there from the whole cake idea, but anyway, keep on track. Okay, the next bit we're going to do is the box. I've tried to do this pretty much like a real pizza box as possible. If you know our templates, we try to make them quite authentic. Here I'm just doing the front of the box and basically just cut out the parts of the box, get them all scored and get them ready to go. So for this you'll have two sides that have flaps and one side that doesn't, so just score them out. I had a bit of a moment and didn't actually print out quite enough, but this just goes to show how you use it as a normal template. You cut it out, draw around it and follow the score lines and cut lines as well. So get all your pieces together and then we can start constructing the base of the box for all the pizza to go in. So once you've got all your bits ready, give all the score lines a good fold so that you've got some nice crisp edges, and then you can take the base of your box. The small tab is the bit that goes on the, is actually glued to the base, and that goes underneath again to give you a nice neat finish inside. Do that all the way around, so your two sides with tabs will go on the side and the other piece goes at the back, and then you can join the whole box together by using the tabbed sides. As you'll see, the sides of the box are actually all double height and there's a horizontal score line through all of them. This is once you've glued it together, you then fold the upper part of it over, and you'll see that in a minute. And what it actually does is it keeps all of the joins nice and neat and tight, and it gives you a double thickness box. Again, trying to keep in with the sort of the genuine look of an ordinary pizza box. And there, as you can see, just folding that top section of the boxes down, as I say, it just strengthens the whole structure and does hold the side tabs in, so it keeps it all nice and in place. And then once you've done that, we move on to the lid, which is quite simple and straightforward. And you need to cut out the main piece and score, and then the two side flaps. These just join onto the underside of the lid and follow the score lines, follow the cut lines, and glue it all together to give you a pizza box lid. When you glue the flaps on, I like to glue them to the inside of the box so that it looks nice and neat from the outside, and just make sure that you glue them right up to the edge in between the two score lines, and that's pretty much all there is to constructing the lid. And then you will see the large rectangular tab at the back. That will be used to glue the actual lid to the base of the box, and that pretty much completes putting your box together. So once you've done everything, then comes the fun bit. Here I've used some cosmic shimmer. I think this is the gold, just to spray over it to give it that sort of baked look, but really this is the bit where you can just let your imagination run wild. You can make I've seen pizzas that are made of sweets and fudge, and you know, you really can just do whatever you want. The last part of the template is the flap that goes on the top. You can decorate each individual slice and not bother with this piece, or you can just put this piece on the top and decorate the pizza as a whole, which is what I'm doing here. Just using some really cheap PVA glue here. You don't need to use your proper expensive crafting glue, and some just plain old common yellow tissue paper, and just gluing it down. This is sort of supposed to be a cheese base. Just keep gluing it down, putting some wrinkles and bumps in to give it a bit of shape, and just keep doing that until you've covered the whole area. And here I've just got some 3D dimensional paint. I think they're Versa Pearl Drops, or Viva Pearl Drops, sorry. But anything really. This is tomato ketchup, so anything you've got, paint, screwed up tissue paper, anything like that is absolutely fine. We have put two shapes in here. One's a tomato slice, and one is just a slice that you can use for pepperoni or mozzarella slices or whatever you like. As I say, the decoration is completely up to you. However you want to do it, whatever you want to use, whether you want to use glitters and laces and ribbons, or a good quick way out is just to take an old pizza box and cut the picture of a pizza out from the top. So here I am, I've just drawn around the shape, just sort of in a reddy browny colour, to make some pepperoni slices. Again, you can use as many as you want. This bit really is entirely up to you and what kind of look you want to go for with your finished product. So once you've done that, again, I've got this is a gold colour of the Viva Pearl Drops, and I'm just going to put some flecks on the pepperoni slices just to make them look a bit more realistic. And once that's done, you can just position them on the pizza, gluing them as you go. So okay, next bit is the tomato slices. The type of person that I am, I was really excited about the way I thought I could do these, and then ended up forgetting to turn the camcorder on. So I'll have to explain to you what I did. Basically, as with everything else, just cut out as many as you want. I've just used a very thin red funky foam here, just to give them a bit of depth, and just draw on the template and cut out the centre sections, as many pieces as you want. Again, it's entirely up to you. So once you cut them all out, I've got some just plain ordinary red tissue paper here. I just wanted to give them a really realistic look. So what I've done is I've stuck them onto there, and then the next stage will be to take the gold Versa Pearl that I've used for the pepperoni, and just to put some little seeds. This is one that I did earlier, it's not showing up very well. Take your gold Versa Pearl and just put some little dots in each of the sections, just to look like the tomato seeds. The bit that I didn't show you, which I was really excited about, was where I filled it with a clear PVA, anything that dries clear, just filled up the little segments to sort of look like the liquid in the jelly slices. As I say, I forgot to turn the camera on because I was so excited. And then just sort of give them a bit of colour, a bit of again, the wax I've used, or you can use your inks just to make them look like they've been cooked a little bit. And then that's your tomato pieces finished, and you can pop them on the pizza however many you wish. And now I'm just going back over using the same products that I used before, the waxes, the inks, the distressing inks, just going around all the sides of the pizza just to give it that sort of cooked pizza look. I've also done the tray so that it doesn't stand out quite so much, but again, how you decorate it, as I've said before, is completely up to you. Pop in all your pizzas, and I've taken here, this is a red cosmic shimmer mist, and just given that a bit of a spray over the top. Again, all the time just adding layers and definition to make it a bit more like a pizza, and that's pretty much a pizza done. What I'm doing here is cutting out the optional piece in the template, which is just to give you a logo to stick on the top. You really can do whatever you like with the outside of the box. This is just something that if you want to use, just cut it out, put onto a colour of your choice. You can either hand write a logo on there, or I've used peel offs just to put happy birthday in there, but this is very much a template that you really can use for pretty much any occasion, and as I say, any colour, and entirely optional. You might have a design you want to put on your own, or again, as I said before, if you want to do something really realistic, take an old pizza box, cut a piece off and just stick that on the lid as well. Your finished box. Now we come to that little white plastic stool that we all get in our pizzas, which apparently I have learned is called a pizza saver. Just cut out the round circle and the legs. Just glue the bottom half of the legs together, two pieces at a time, and fan the two small top tabs out, and use the marks on the template to show you roughly where to stick each leg. Go around and do that for all 4 of the legs, and then that's that part finished. So here's my finished tomato slices that I was really chuffed with, and I hope you'll agree that they do look quite realistic. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit of the red sprays on, which helped us to define the colours and bring them all out, and they can be stuck on the pizza, as with pepperoni, however many you want to use. So once I glued all the bits on, I realised that I was still getting a bit of curvature on the actual sort of pizza topping. So you've got a few options. You can cut out another shape and just cut the tab off and use this to put on the back of the pizza. I decided that I actually wanted to have some real slices, and I went for the option of just cutting them up and then sticking them on an extra pizza slice shape. You could do this either by drawing lines, you don't have to do it at all, or another easy way is just to run an ink pad along a ruler and to sort of slide that across the top of the pizza to give you your shape of your pizza slices. But as I say, again, it's entirely optional. If you just want to leave it as a one round shape, that's entirely up to you. Was a bit like a jigsaw puzzle because I did drop the pieces on the floor, but it all went back together okay. Just going in the last few pieces there, and then that's your actual pizza top finished, and can then be glued to the actual pizza base just by using the small tab on the end. And you can see me just doing that there with the little pizza saver stuck on the top, and there you have your finished pizza with your opening lid, which reveals your 8 slices, individual boxes, or as I say, just an individual shape. And then pop that inside your pizza box, and there you are. You have your cut and craft pizza. I hope you enjoy making it as much as I do, and don't forget, any decoration is entirely up to your imagination. Please don't be limited by anything I've done here, and if you have any great pictures of your finished product, then please do send them in and we'll try and pop them up on the website. Thanks once again. Bye.